garden tour July the 19th, and we have been away for 2.5 weeks. Unfortunately, our friend Esther and Bobby have been coming over daily to harvest and try to maintain the jungle, but it is a jungle. So we're gonna walk through it just to see and do a comparison, because I haven't done a video for a while. And we're not gonna describe everything, but I was actually working on the back okra bed right there. So the cosmos have really filled out, and the peppers are huge. These things are, this is up to my chest, so this is probably at least 4'6" or so. So if you take into comparison that and you go all the way up, and the tomatillo and this random sunflower, I don't even know how tall. That's taller than the barn, and the barn is 14 or 16 feet. So all the tomatillos, these things are about to get a huge haircut. So I wanted to, as long as the bees will cooperate, I wanted to go ahead and get a video before I gave them a huge haircut so we could see the before and afters. The perennial bed is really filling in nice. The comfrey, we'll see that. I literally chopped this down to the ground 2 weeks ago, down to the soil, and gave it to the chickens for fodder. They loved it, and it has already gotten that big again already. The green stalk is doing well. The June bugs are killing the strawberries, but all of a sudden we have these random tomato plants growing out of it. I'm not exactly sure. We have 2 or 30. We have 2 random tomato plants growing out of it. So I may just let them grow and see what happens. Don't know how they got in there. Actually, we had 3. I pulled one out already. I don't know. This is the jungle time of the garden, and it's really kind of cool, but then in the same manner, this is a lot. Oh, random little sunflower in the middle of all the tomatillos that got so heavy that they fell. Oh, there's a tomato down there too. I don't know. Guess we're just going with the flow. If you look all the way up to the sky, huge sunflowers. You see all the bumblebees and the hummingbirds and the, yeah. So if you like to keep a neat and tidy garden, this video is not for you. But the dahlias are really showing out, and I can't remember what these guys are named, but they're really showing out. It's very pretty. Definitely a jungle in here, for sure. Our random tomato plants that are just in fabric pots, we just kind of let go and ramble. Those were the pick up and grow pots, but that person ended up having to move, so they couldn't take them with them. So we just kind of have let them sit there for the season and let them do their thing. And so they are growing up and over everything. Put the canis in our little makeshift fish pond there. If we swing over here, torch tithonia, maybe my new favorite. It's also called Mexican sunflower. Maybe my absolute new favorite. Those were 2 small plants, and you can see how they filled in that entire area. Those are, oh, look at the butterfly. I don't know if you can see because of the light today. Oh yeah, there you go. The monarchs are loving it, and the bumblebees are loving it. This will self-seed, or supposed to be. I'll let you know next year. And it will just regrow. So I'm anticipating it will take up this entire space. I thought Mr. Cardoon would, but I think it is. And you can see the weeds have gotten out of control because we haven't been here to pull the weeds. But not too bad, actually, on the weeds. The way the beds are set up, they're pretty decent. So yeah, that torch tithonia, that Mexican sunflower is beautiful. I'm not sure how it is for a cutting flower, but we'll find out. We're getting ready to have company come in Thursday. My sister Jamie, and then my parents are coming to visit. That was our miscellaneous random tomato plant too. Not sure what it is, but we're gonna find out. We're just letting that one grow and ramble. You can see we had tons of rain while we were gone. So of course, lots of blight. But still, amazingly, even with the heat and the rain, still lots of tomatoes. This is a Hawaiian tomato that I picked that I wanted to hold on to. I'm gonna weigh this one. I'm gonna bet this thing's about 1.5 pounds, 1.3. I hadn't tried those yet, so these are the, and you can see like nice red ones up in there. These are just growing everywhere. The sun golds, I think those are red chocolates. They've kind of all mixed now. So much for me trying to keep them kind of separate. But the chickens are gonna have lots and lots of goodies because everything is just crazy. I'll trim a lot of these up, and I'll probably top them now too because they're just getting too tall to even manage. That's a good 16 feet up there. I can't, that's not manageable. But lots of stuff to pick. You can see they're getting, so this climbed over from the other side and is now through this side. This is a sun gold, which is worth the effort of growing, by the way. I think this is one of our sweetest tomatoes in our bunch. I think doing the heavy pruning on the bottom really helped with disease, because usually this time of year our tomatoes would be absolutely done. And then now, look at this. Now we cut off 2 of those huge gourds before we left, but look at how covered that is between the cucamelons, a little bit of the kajaris, and then the tromboncini squash. It is, and that one's not even the fullest canopy that we have. I'll take you over to the butternut squash. It's pretty cool though. I mean, look at those cucamelons. There's tons of them. And tons of cucamelons that have all dropped. Like they were ready. I'll have to clean all those up too. Nasturtiums don't usually like the heat, so I'm not surprised they've kind of petered out. Some disease on our bigger slicer tomatoes. But Esther and Bobby did a really nice job keeping them pruned as much as they could. This is a big job. This is a lot of tomatoes. A lot. I'm not really sure what I was thinking. Except that we can grow all the tomatoes, so why not grow all the tomatoes, right? Zucchini and squash. Remember we had them trellising and keeping them neat and tidy? Well, those things have grown out of control too. These also usually would have been done by now for sure. But we have tons of stuff on here to, where is he? Huge 8 balls, squash. I mean, just huge. That one's the size of a pumpkin, which we'll probably give to the chickens or make zucchini bread out of. But they're just amazing. The okra bed, that was tiny before we left. And now I need to clean this okra bed up. So I'll trim up all the leaves and take the okra off so we can manage it a little bit better. But you can see how nice and big and tall and healthy those are. And this little trellis right here is so cool. I don't know if you can see the Chinese noodle beans. Look at how long they are. They're so cool. You can use these for stir fries. They're pretty long. This one's probably 18 to 24 inches. But they go up and over. And they hang on this little, this is like a third of an arch. We just had some leftover arch material, so we did that. Look at this golden zucchini. Look at my hand in comparison. That's how big he is. He'll probably have to go to the chickens too. But huge. Or zucchini bread. Maybe I'll make some zucchini bread for guests, huh? So if we go through here and we look at our peppers are growing gangbusters. These are lemon drops. These are hot, but really citrusy. Super cool to see these peppers doing so well. We planted them super close together, 2 in a box, and we were like thinking that might be a little bit too close, but it was great. And this pepperfish, pepperfish, one or the other, is just beautiful. Not only is that variegated, but check out the peppers. They're variegated too. Didn't know that, so that was a sweet little surprise for me. And other peppers, I honestly don't even remember what we planted there. I have to look at the things. Our artichokes, definitely taking over the bed. Hopefully they'll have enough room. And the Cape Gooseberry, I'm regretting planting it there just like I thought I would. So that won't get planted there again next year. It's just too big. Cucumbers, obviously, they peter out. They've got some disease. They had disease before we left, so I'll trim them way up. It looks like it's still trying to put out some new babies, so we'll see what it does. If it can outgrow the disease, maybe. But we'll see. So that's the sorry, I'm tired from vacation. Cucumber laying there. And we go over here, we've got all of our basils and stuff that need to be topped. And the lemongrass smells amazing and is growing like crazy. I can't wait to use this in cooking and then harvest it and dehydrate it so I can use it throughout the year, during the winter months. This has not been trimmed back yet, but this is one of the cattle panels that is all South Anna, I believe, butternut squash. Look at this thing. I'll take you underneath. When you walk underneath, it literally is probably 5 degrees cooler under here and has some amazing fruit. Now, these were supposed to be personal sized. These are not personal sized butternut squash. Look at my hand compared to those things. So, oh, it's even pulling the trellis down. Uh-oh. We might need another support up in here. These were supposed to be personal size. These guys over here are actually ready. This is the size that was supposed to be right here. This personal size. But those guys over there are certainly not personal size. So when I trim them up, I don't know what I'm going to do with those big mambo jumbos. But it's so cool. And it's so much cooler underneath here. So let's see if we can make our way out into... It's such a jungle. Oh my gosh. I see a spaghetti squash. Our spaghetti squash is obviously ready. So this will be we'll pull those off and it's like spaghetti squash like you get in the store. And we'll probably do some cucumbers or something else on that for some succession planting. This little guy decided he was done and he wanted to just fall off. So we'll come back and get him in a minute. Our Kajari melons, beautiful. We've gotten a couple off of them. I think the disease has taken them. I don't think that they're supposed to stop yet. But here's a melon, but it needs to turn orange. And it literally will slip from the vine. But I think probably from the wet and the humidity. There's another one down there. That it probably is just getting this plant. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then our tomatoes, our big slicer tomatoes, those sunflowers you see right there, I'm going to guess are, they're way taller than the barn. So those are probably 25 feet high. The top of those, that cattle panel right there is probably 10 and a half feet. No, probably 12 or 13 feet up there. So yeah, and this came from the butternut squash right here. So that's all tomatoes. And then if we walk around the corner, oh, there's a little Kajari melon right there. They decided to fall off. Aren't they pretty? It was ripe and ready. They're like a honeydew mixed with a cantaloupe. Okay. Greg mowed the yard real quick last night, but oof, what a mess. Tons of tomatoes. They've gotten so heavy, they've fallen over. We also had a lot of, we had a real heavy storm, I think, right before we came back. This is the Jerusalem artichoke that will be blooming here soon. You can't even see the bird bath anymore. Look at those. That's the pepper bed, tomato bed, and the only way to get through right now is that little tunnel. I'm gonna clip it all back so that'll be different, but this is all the peppers in that first pepper bed. It's crazy. Those sunflowers are huge. I don't think I've ever grown them that tall before, or that many. I don't know how I'm gonna get them down. Oh, look at that one. I don't know what kind that is, but it's like has neat flower petals. So we're not gonna, well, we'll go through the tunnel. What the heck? See these peppers. I think those are Carolina Reapers, but I'm not sure. These are all Greg's really, really hot peppers. And there are so many peppers. I'm not even sure how we're gonna harvest them all. Cayenne peppers. I don't even know how I'm gonna get in here. We had a branch break, so I guess we'll be having fried green tomatoes with guests. Oh. These are so pretty. I'm not really sure if this is a Puma pepper maybe, but the colors on these peppers are gorgeous. Look at that. I think it's a Puma pepper. Yeah, it's a Puma pepper. So it's got a heat, but I'm not sure how hot the heat is. So the peppers are the same on this side. Look at all the habaneros down there. It's a lot of hot peppers, people. It's a lot of hot peppers. And then, you know, if you go to the other side, all hot peppers. And the same, the sunflowers are huge. Gorgeous, but so huge. And this is ground cherries here. Well, it wasn't quite done, but I'll show you. It comes in this little husk. And then you pop your ground cherry out, and it tastes like a pineapple. Ground cherry. If it's ripe enough, this one looks like it might need to sit a little more. Really, you wait for them to fall off. That one's not quite done yet either, but I'll sit it in the tack room and let it sit for a day or two. Let me see. Oh, that's good. You can see them down in there. Those are the ones you want right there. The trouble is right now getting to them because everything is such a jungle. Like this used to be a pathway right here. I can't even get through. I know. I think it's amazing. Our Indian blanket flower decided it could grow through the jungle. I'm surprised. So let's go back through the butternut squash jungle because that's the only way to really get through here. To show you the other side. Goodness. I can't even reach the water spigot. This is the Dr. Seuss jungle right here. With the ramboncini or trumpet squash. Rampicante, sorry. And then there's cucumbers on the end and wing beans. And we've got a bunch of those Thai noodle beans again. This one right here that you're looking at, I know you don't have a frame of reference, but that thing is probably 10 to 12 inches long across at the bottom, and it's probably 5 foot long. That's crazy. Oh wow, the one behind it is even longer. Yeah, and then we have, if you look through there, we have personal watermelons, little yellow watermelons ready too. So much produce. So much fresh food, which is very welcomed because in Cozumel, they have to have everything shipped in. And so we really missed our fresh veggies. Once again, ground cherries. We pulled out all of those cucumbers before we left because they were really diseased. And then peppers here. And shishito peppers. And I thought I saw some red ones up here in the shishitos. But I saw them from the other side, so I'm not positive. Shishito peppers are wonderful, just blistered and cooked. And then there's some heatless habaneros maybe in this group. Maybe. Not positive. I think these guys are heatless habaneros, which we'll wait for them to turn red. So they'll just have a citrusy taste but no heat. So, yeah. Oh, I got the pretty fish pepper red. I bet that's hot. So, yeah, just wanted to show you the garden before I whack it all. Give it a big haircut. Look at the beautiful. Hey, pretty one. Good job, pollinators. Oh. The bumblebee bully. You're pretty. Oh, there's another